the shocking betrayal, the wedding that destroyed everything. The champagne glass shattered against the marble floor, and for a moment, the entire ballroom went silent. Elena stood frozen, her white wedding dress suddenly feeling like a funeral shroud. Through the crowd of 200 guests, she could see them, her fiancé Marcus and her own sister Sophia, tangled together in the courtroom, his hands in places that made Elena's stomach turn to ice. This wasn't supposed to happen. Not tonight. Not on what should have been the happiest day of her life. Elena, I can explain. Marcus stumbled forward, his tuxedo shirt half unbuttoned, lipstick smeared across his collar like a confession written in blood. But Elena couldn't hear him over the roaring in her ears. 3 years. 3 years of planning this wedding, of building a life together, of believing in forever. And her sister, her own flesh and blood, had been there the whole time, waiting in the shadows like a thief. The sister she thought she knew. Sophia didn't even look guilty. She stepped out of the courtroom with her chin held high, her maid of honor dress wrinkled and revealing. "I'm sorry you had to find out this way," she said, her voice dripping with false sympathy. "But Marcus and I have been in love for months. We tried to fight it, Elena. We really did." The guests started whispering. Cameras flashed. Someone's grandmother gasped loud enough to echo through the chandelier-lit room. Elena's mother rushed forward, tears streaming down her face. "Elena, sweetheart, let's just go home. We can fix this. We can fix this?" Elena's voice came out like broken glass. "How do you fix betrayal, Mom? How do you fix the fact that my own sister has been sleeping with my fiancé?" Marcus reached for her hand, but Elena jerked away like his touch was poison. "Baby, please. It just happened. We didn't mean for. Don't call me baby." Elena's voice turned to steel. "Don't ever call me that again." The truth behind the lies. Later that night, alone in her childhood bedroom, still wearing that cursed white dress, Elena found the messages. Marcus had left his laptop open, careless, arrogant, stupid, and there they were. Hundreds of texts between him and Sophia, going back not months, but years. "Can't wait until she's out of the picture. Then we can finally be together. The wedding is just for show. Her family's money will set us up for life. She's so naive. She actually thinks I love her." Elena's hands shook as she scrolled through message after message, each one a knife twisting deeper into her chest. They had planned this. All of it. The engagement, the wedding, the life insurance policy Marcus had convinced her to take out last month with him as the sole beneficiary. They weren't just cheating. They were planning to destroy her. The brother she never expected. The knock on her door came at 2 a.m. Elena almost didn't answer, but something made her open it. Damien Cross stood in the hallway, Marcus's older brother, the black sheep of the family who'd been overseas for 5 years. He was broader than Marcus, harder around the edges, with dark eyes that seemed to see straight through her. "I heard what happened," he said quietly. "I came as soon as I could." Elena had always been afraid of Damien. He was everything Marcus wasn't. Dangerous, intense, unpredictable. The family rarely spoke about him, and when they did, it was in hushed tones about business deals gone wrong and relationships that ended in flames. "Why are you here?" Elena asked, her voice hoarse from crying. Damien's jaw tightened. "Because my brother is a bastard, and someone needs to make sure you're okay." He paused, then added, "And because I know what they're planning." Elena's blood ran cold. "What do you mean? Can I come in?" This isn't a conversation for hallways. The proposal that changed everything. Damien sat on the edge of her bed, his presence filling the entire room. "Marcus and Sophia have been planning this for 3 years, since the day you two got engaged." He pulled out his phone and showed her bank statements, legal documents, emails between Marcus and some lawyer about asset acquisition strategies. They were going to marry you, drain your trust fund, and then Damien's voice turned dark. Let's just say that life insurance policy wasn't a coincidence. Elena felt the world tilt. They were going to kill me, make it look like an accident. Sophia would comfort Marcus through his grief. They'd inherit everything and live happily ever after. Damien's eyes met hers, and she saw something burning there. Rage, but also something else. Something that made her skin flush despite everything. Unless we stop them. We? Elena whispered. Damien leaned forward, his voice dropping to a dangerous whisper. Marry me instead. Elena almost laughed. What? Think about it. Marcus wants your money? Let's make sure he never sees a dime. Sophia wants to humiliate you? Let's show her what real humiliation looks like. Damien's hand reached out, his fingers barely touching hers, but the contact sent electricity through her entire body. Marry me, Elena. We'll make them regret everything. The decision that started it all. Elena should have said no, should have run away, started over, forgotten the Cross family existed. But as she looked into Damien's eyes, she didn't see pity. She saw understanding. And underneath that, she saw something wild and reckless that called to the broken, angry part of her that wanted revenge more than she wanted to breathe. What's in it for you? She asked. Damien smiled, and it was nothing like Marcus's charming grin. This smile was sharp, predatory, real. Let's just say my brother and I have unfinished business. This solves both our problems. Elena's heart hammered in her chest. This was insane. Marrying a man she barely knew, a man with a dangerous reputation, just to get revenge on the two people who'd destroyed her life. But then she remembered Sophia's smirk, Marcus's lies, the 3 years she'd wasted on a love that was never real. Okay, Elena heard herself say, I'll marry you. Damien's eyes flashed with something dark and triumphant. He stood, towering over her, and held out his hand. Then let's make them pay. Elena took his hand, and the moment their fingers intertwined, she knew there was no going back. But what she didn't know, what she couldn't possibly know, was that Damien Cross had secrets of his own. And this marriage of revenge was about to become something far more dangerous than either of them had planned. Heartbreak and revenge. The marriage that shocked everyone. The courthouse wedding happened exactly 1 week after the betrayal. No guests, no white dress, no tears, just Elena in a simple black suit and Damien in dark jeans and a leather jacket, signing papers that would change everything. The clerk looked bored. You may kiss the bride. Damien's eyes met Elena's, and for a moment she forgot how to breathe. He stepped closer, his hand sliding to the small of her back, and when his lips touched hers, the kiss was nothing like she expected. It wasn't gentle or sweet. It was possessive, claiming, real, and it sent fire racing through her veins. When they pulled apart, Elena's hands were shaking. That was for practice, Damien murmured against her ear. Wait until they see us together. Moving into enemy territory. Damien's penthouse was nothing like Marcus's sterile, modern apartment. It was all dark wood, exposed brick, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city like a kingdom waiting to be conquered. Books everywhere, art that looked expensive and dangerous, a bar that probably cost more than Elena's car. Welcome home, Mrs. Cross, Damien said, watching her reaction carefully. Mrs. Cross. Elena hadn't even thought about that. She was married to Damien Cross, a man she barely knew, but who somehow felt more real than Marcus ever had. Where do I sleep? She asked, trying to keep her voice steady. Damien pointed down the hallway. Master bedroom is yours. I'll take the guest room. Elena blinked. You're giving me the master? This marriage might be revenge, but I'm not a monster. Damien poured himself a whiskey, his movements controlled and precise. We have rules, Elena. Rule 1, we're partners in this. Equal footing. Rule 2, what happens between us stays between us. No lies, no games. Rule 3, he paused, his eyes traveling over her in a way that made her skin heat. We sell this marriage to everyone. That means holding hands, kissing in public, making them believe we're madly in love. And in private? Elena whispered. Damien's smile was dangerous. In private, we're honest. About everything. The first strike. The next morning, Elena woke to find Damien already dressed, phone in hand, expression dark. What's wrong? She asked. Marcus and Sophia are engaged. They announced it an hour ago. He showed her his phone, Instagram posts, Twitter announcements, her sister's smug face wearing what looked suspiciously like Elena's engagement ring. Elena's stomach twisted, but then she felt Damien's hand on her shoulder, steady and warm. Good, he said quietly. Let them celebrate. It'll make the fall so much sweeter. What are you planning? Damien pulled out a folder, thick, organized, terrifying in its thoroughness. Marcus's company is built on fraud. Fake investors, embezzled funds, tax evasion. I've been documenting it for years, waiting for the right moment. His eyes met hers. That moment is now. Elena's heart raced. You're going to destroy him? We're going to destroy him, Damien corrected. But first, we need to play the game. The family dinner from hell. The invitation came 2 days later. Sunday dinner at the Cross family estate. Mandatory attendance for all family members. Elena wanted to refuse, but Damien squeezed her hand. This is where it starts. Trust me. The Cross family estate was massive, intimidating. Old money dripping from every chandelier. Marcus and Sophia were already there, sitting close on the leather couch, her hand on his thigh in a way that made Elena's stomach churn. Sophia's eyes widened when Elena walked in, with Damien's arm around her waist. What the hell is this? Marcus stood up, his face turning red. Damien smiled coldly. Meet my wife. The room exploded. Marcus's mother gasped. His father's face turned purple. Sophia looked like she'd been slapped. You married her? Marcus's voice shook with rage. My ex-fiancée? Technically, she was never your fiancée after you slept with her sister, Damien said smoothly. And yes, I married her. Last week, at the courthouse. Very romantic. Elena felt every eye in the room on her, but Damien's presence beside her was like armor. Sophia recovered first, her voice dripping with venom. How pathetic, Elena. You couldn't keep one brother, so you settled for the other? Elena opened her mouth to respond, but Damien beat her to it. Careful, Sophia. Slander is actionable. And unlike Marcus, I actually have lawyers who win cases. He turned to his parents. We came to announce our marriage and to let you know that Elena will be taking her rightful place in the family business. Absolutely not, Marcus's father thundered. She has no claim. Actually, Damien interrupted, pulling out legal documents. As my wife, she has every claim. And since I own 40% of Cross Industries, more than Marcus's 25%, I'd say her opinion matters quite a bit. The night everything changed. Back at the penthouse, Elena was shaking with adrenaline. That was brutal. Damien poured her wine. Necessary. They need to see that you're not broken, that you're stronger than they ever gave you credit for. Elena took the wine, her hands still trembling. Why are you really helping me, Damien? What did Marcus do to you? Damien's expression darkened. He walked to the window, staring out at the city lights. 5 years ago, I was engaged. Her name was Lily. She was everything. Kind, brilliant, real. His voice cracked slightly. Marcus wanted the promotion I was getting, so he seduced her, convinced her I was cheating, turned her against me. She broke off our engagement and married him. Elena's blood ran cold. What happened to her? She found out the truth 6 months later, confronted Marcus. He was drunk, they fought, she fell down the stairs. Damien's hands clenched into fists. He called it an accident. The police believed him. And I've been waiting 5 years for the chance to make him pay. Elena set down her wine and walked to him. She put her hand on his arm, feeling the tension in his muscles. I'm sorry. Damien looked at her, and for the first time, she saw the pain underneath the anger. This isn't just about revenge anymore, Elena. I need you to know that. Then what is it about? He turned to face her fully, his hand coming up to cup her cheek. It's about justice. For Lily. For you. For everyone he's ever hurt. The air between them crackled with tension. Elena knew she should step back, maintain distance, remember that this was a business arrangement. But when Damien leaned down and kissed her, slow and deep and nothing like their courthouse kiss, she didn't pull away. She kissed him back. The secret that changed everything. They pulled apart, both breathing hard. Elena's mind was spinning. That wasn't part of the plan, she whispered. No, Damien agreed, his thumb tracing her lower lip. It wasn't. Elena's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. I know what you're planning. Meet me tomorrow at Grant Park, noon. Come alone, or I'll tell Marcus everything. A friend. Elena showed Damien the message, her heart pounding. His expression turned deadly. Someone's watching us. Who? I don't know. But we're going to find out. He pulled her close, his voice low and dangerous in her ear. And Elena? Tomorrow at the park, you're not going alone. As Elena lay in bed that night, her lips still tingling from Damien's kiss, she realized something terrifying. This revenge plot was supposed to be simple. Marry Damien, destroy Marcus, move on. But nothing about Damien Cross was simple. And the way her heart raced when he touched her, that definitely wasn't part of the plan. Who sent that message? What do they know? And is Elena falling for the one man who could be even more dangerous than the brother who betrayed her? The ultimate payback. The meeting that revealed everything. Grant Park at noon was crowded. Joggers, mothers with strollers, tourists taking photos. Elena sat on the designated bench, her heart hammering. Damien was nearby, hidden behind sunglasses and a baseball cap, pretending to read a newspaper like some spy movie cliché. The woman who sat down beside Elena wasn't what she expected. Lily Cross, Damien's supposedly dead ex-fiancée. Elena's blood turned to ice. You're alive. Lily was beautiful in a fragile way, with haunted eyes and trembling hands. I'm sorry for the dramatics, but I needed to talk to you without Damien knowing. He thinks you're dead. He thinks Marcus killed you. That's what I needed him to believe. Lily's voice cracked. Marcus was going to kill me, Elena. That fall down the stairs wasn't an accident, but I survived. And when I woke up in the hospital, I realized that if Marcus thought I was dead, he'd stop looking for me. Elena's mind reeled. Why are you telling me this? Lily grabbed her hand urgently. Because Damien isn't who you think he is. Yes, Marcus is a monster. But Damien? Tears streamed down her face. He's worse. The business deals that went wrong, the relationships that ended in flames, that wasn't bad luck, Elena. That was calculated destruction. Damien doesn't just want revenge on Marcus. He wants to burn the entire world down, and you're caught in the crossfire. The truth about Damien. Elena's phone buzzed. A text from Damien. Get away from her. Now. But Lily was pulling out documents, police reports, medical records, witness statements. After I died, I investigated both brothers. Marcus is a narcissist and a con man. But Damien? He's a sociopath, Elena. Look at this. The documents showed a pattern. Every person who'd ever wronged Damien had mysteriously lost everything. Businesses collapsed, reputations destroyed, some even disappeared entirely. He ruins people, Lily whispered. Not just financially. He destroys them psychologically, systematically, completely. And now he's using you to destroy Marcus. But what happens when he's done? When Marcus is in prison and Sophia is bankrupt? Do you really think Damien will just let you walk away? Elena felt sick. Was any of this real? Damien's kindness, his passion, the way he'd kissed her like she was the only woman in the world? I have to go. Elena stood up, her legs shaking. Wait. Lily pressed a flash drive into her hand. This has everything. The evidence Damien's been collecting, but also evidence about Damien. The things he's done. The people he's hurt. You need to know what you're dealing with. The confrontation. Damien was waiting at the penthouse, his expression unreadable. You talked to Lily. You lied to me. Elena's voice shook with rage and betrayal. She's alive. You knew she was alive. I found out 2 months ago, Damien admitted, his jaw tight. She faked her death and ran. I've been protecting her from Marcus ever since. By lying to me? By using her death to manipulate me into this revenge plot? Damien's eyes flashed dangerously. I didn't manipulate you, Elena. You wanted revenge just as badly as I did, but you lied about your reasons. Elena threw the flash drive at him. Lily gave me this. She said, you're not just after Marcus. You're after everyone. That you're a sociopath who destroys people for sport. Damien caught the flash drive, his expression turning cold. And you believed her? Just like that? After everything we've been through? I don't know what to believe anymore. Elena's voice broke. Were any of your feelings real, Damien? Or was I just another pawn in your game? The secret files. Damien plugged in the flash drive. His movements controlled, but violent. Fine. Let's see what Lily gave you. The files opened, and Elena watched as Damien's expression changed from anger to something darker. Betrayal. This isn't just about me, he said quietly, scrolling through documents. Lily's been working with Marcus. What? Damien turned the laptop toward her. Emails between Lily and Marcus, dated within the last 6 months. Plans to eliminate Damien's credibility. Bank transfers. Meeting notes. She never left Marcus. Damien's voice was hollow. The whole time I thought I was protecting her, she was working with him. Against me. Elena felt the room spin. But she had evidence about you. About the people you've destroyed, because Marcus fed it to her. Damien's laugh was bitter. Half of it's fabricated. The other half is taken out of context. Yes, I've ruined people, Elena. But only people who deserved it. Business rivals who stole from me. Partners who committed fraud. I'm not a saint, but I'm not the monster she painted me to be. Elena sank onto the couch, her head in her hands. How do I know you're telling the truth? Damien knelt in front of her, forcing her to meet his eyes. Because I'm giving you a choice right now. Walk away. Take half of everything I own, disappear, live your life. Or stay. Help me finish this. And when it's over, if you still think I'm a monster, I'll let you go. The plan for ultimate revenge. Elena looked into Damien's eyes and saw something she hadn't expected. Vulnerability. Real, raw, terrifying vulnerability. I'm staying, she whispered. But no more lies. About anything. Relief flooded Damien's face. He pulled her close, pressing his forehead to hers. No more lies, so what's the plan? Damien's smile turned predatory. Marcus and Lily think they're playing us, so we let them think they're winning. We stage a public fight, make them believe our marriage is falling apart. Then, when they make their move, we destroy them both. How? Marcus's fraud case goes public tomorrow. I've already sent everything to the FBI. But that's just the beginning. Damien pulled up new files on his laptop. Sophia's been embezzling from your family's trust fund for years. I have proof. And Lily? She's been using a fake identity. There's a warrant out for her arrest in 3 states for identity theft and fraud. Elena stared at the evidence, her heart racing. You're going to send them all to prison? No, Damien corrected, his hand sliding to her neck, thumb tracing her pulse. We're going to send them all to prison. Together. But first, we need them to think they've won. The public breakdown. The staged fight happened at Marcus and Sophia's engagement party. Of course, they'd have another one. This time bigger and more expensive, rubbing their happiness in everyone's faces. Elena and Damien arrived separately. She wore red, bold, confident, stunning. Damien was in all black, looking like sin incarnate. The moment Marcus saw them, his smile faltered. Elena, Sophia cooed, her arm possessive around Marcus. So brave of you to come. And alone too? Where's that husband of yours? Right here, Damien appeared, but his expression was cold when he looked at Elena. Though I don't know how much longer she'll be my wife. The room went silent. What's that supposed to mean? Marcus asked, barely hiding his glee. It means, Elena said, her voice shaking perfectly, that I made a mistake. Marrying Damien was just revenge. It wasn't real. It was never real. Sophia laughed. Oh, Elena, you poor thing. Used by 2 men. How does it feel? Elena's eyes filled with real tears, because even though this was fake, the emotions underneath were real. It feels like I should have seen this coming. She turned and walked out, and the performance was so convincing that even she almost believed it. The trap is set. Later that night, Marcus called Elena. I heard about your fight with Damien. I'm sorry, Elena. I truly am. Are you? Elena kept her voice cold. I know you won't believe me, but I never wanted to hurt you. Sophia and I we fell in love. These things happen, and you're calling to gloat, I'm calling to offer help. Marcus's voice turned smooth, manipulative, the way it used to when he'd convinced her to trust him. I know Damien's been hiding money from you. I know he's planning to take everything in the divorce. But I have lawyers. I have resources. Let me help you, Elena, for old time's sake. Elena closed her eyes. The trap was working. Why would you help me? Because despite everything, I still care about you. And because Damien is dangerous. He's been investigating me, trying to destroy me. But if we work together, we can take him down first. What do you have in mind? Meet me tomorrow. My office. Noon. Come alone, and I'll show you everything. Elena hung up and looked at Damien, who'd been listening on speaker. He's going to try to kill me, I know, Damien said, his expression deadly. That's what we're counting on. The final confrontation. Marcus's office was on the 30th floor, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. When Elena walked in, Marcus was alone, holding 2 glasses of wine. To new beginnings, he said, handing her a glass. Elena pretended to drink, but didn't. The wine was drugged, she could smell it. You know, Marcus said, stepping closer, I really did love you once, Elena, but you were always too soft, too trusting. Damien saw that too, didn't he? Used it against you, just like you did. Marcus smiled. Exactly. Which is why this is going to be so easy, he lunged for her. But Elena was ready. She'd been training with Damien for weeks, learning to fight, to defend herself. She blocked his attack, drove her knee into his stomach, and when he stumbled back, Damien emerged from the private bathroom, phone in hand. Got all of that on video, Damien said calmly. The drugged wine, the assault, the confession. Thanks for making this easy, brother. Marcus's face turned purple with rage. You can't prove anything, actually, came a voice from the door. We can. FBI agents flooded the room. Behind them, Lily walked in, but this time she wasn't crying. She was smiling. Surprise, she said to Marcus. I was working with them the whole time. Marcus's world collapsed in seconds. The fraud charges, the attempted murder, the embezzlement, all of it recorded, documented, proven. As they dragged him away, Marcus screamed, This isn't over, Damien. I'll destroy you. You'll be in prison, Damien said coldly, for the rest of your life. Enjoy. The truth about Lily. After Marcus was gone, Lily approached Elena. I'm sorry for scaring you in the park. That was part of the plan, to make Marcus think I was turning against Damien. Elena shook her head, still processing. So you were never working with Marcus? I was, Lily admitted. At first. After the fall, I was confused, hurt, angry. Marcus convinced me that Damien was the real villain. But then I started investigating, and I realized Marcus had been manipulating both of us, so I went to the FBI. And then to Damien. Damien squeezed Lily's shoulder. She's been our inside source for months. Every piece of evidence Marcus thought he had hidden, Lily found it. What about Sophia? Elena asked. Already in custody, Lily said with satisfaction. Embezzlement? Fraud? Conspiracy to commit murder. Your family's pressing charges. She's facing 20 years minimum, love in the ashes. The penthouse was quiet that night. Just Elena and Damien, surrounded by the wreckage of their revenge. It's over, Elena whispered. They're gone. We won. Damien pulled her close, his arms wrapping around her like he'd never let go. We did. But Elena, he pulled back to look at her face. I need you to know something. This started as revenge. But somewhere along the way, it became real. You became real. The most real thing in my life. Elena's eyes filled with tears. How do I know this isn't just another manipulation? Because I'm giving you a choice. Walk away right now, and I'll honor our agreement. Half of everything I own. Or stay. Not for revenge, not for money, but because you want to. Elena looked into Damien's eyes and saw everything she'd been looking for with Marcus. Honesty, passion, realness. But more than that, she saw a future. A real one, built on truth instead of lies. I'm staying, she whispered. Not because of revenge, because I love you. Damien's kiss was fierce and desperate and full of promises. When they finally pulled apart, he smiled, really smiled, with no darkness behind it. Then, let's build something real, he said, something that has nothing to do with them. As Elena fell asleep in Damien's arms that night, she realized something. Sometimes the best revenge isn't destroying your enemies. It's building a life so beautiful they can only watch from prison and regret everything they lost.